What is up, guys? I'm back in the shop again today installing suspension. And if you haven't checked out the last video, I'm installing a triple trees from Gezzer Engineering. Need to go check it out. But I'm going to be pairing those triple trees with Gezzer Engineering suspension from their front cartridge to the remote reservoir shock. I'm excited about putting these on the bike and showing you guys how to do it. So I think it's time to jump into this install so that way you can see what all it takes to put these on your bike. So let's go.
I found the cartridges very easy to set the preload on. All you have to do is loosen up the jam nut, which I found great, so it holds the preload in place and not worry about a thing. Holding an adjuster nut and turning the top of the cartridge can set the preload to your weight. It has an indicator on the side which makes it very easy to see where you're at. Every 4 turns is equal to 1 unit. Then just tighten back up the jam nut and the preload is set. Now we can assemble the forks, slide the top out spring into the fork tube and install your cartridge. Now don't forget to put your oil lock piece on the end of your rod before putting your fork slider on. Then make sure to install the drain plug and washer at the bottom of your slider. You would know it pretty quick when you start adding oil. Now you will need a 49mm seal driver to install the new seals. Once the seals and washers are in place, you can start adding the oil. I prefer using a syringe to fill the forks. Helps to get the oil in the tube and can measure out how much oil is needed. With these, it requires 250 milliliters. The less oil on the outside makes the next part a little easier, screwing the cartridge into the tube, where you can get a better grip with your hands than your hands slipping and sliding. A 3/4 Allen head socket is required to snug up your forks, and then they are ready to go back on the bike. If you're just installing the front cartridges, then everything go back on the bike exactly the way you took it off. But if you're pairing it with their triple trees and fork sliders, then it's going to be a slightly different process. Starting with the lower triple tree, alternating bolts not to cause distortion, and they provide all the spacers necessary for the front wheel and its hidden axle.
Well, that is just looking sick and it's not even done. Leave down in the comments below what you think, but I couldn't be more ecstatic about putting this whole front end on the bike, changing the look. Even though the fairing is going to cover a lot of it, it just looks beefier. But now it's time to make sure everything's tight on the front end and then get to the back and put the reservoir shocks on. Where there you have it, rear suspension installed on the bike. And if you have an 08 and back, you'll have to remove the filler panels. 09 and up, you don't have that problem, but I am digging the look of it. The only thing left to do is set the sag. With these being a 13-inch shock, it's a 1-inch sag. So I'll have to have a buddy come over and help me do that. That way I can get the most accurate reading to get that 1 inch of sag. But I am loving having Gezzer Engineering rear suspension on there, the front suspension, and Milwaukee is right around the corner. So once I put some mileage on this suspension, I'll give you guys my honest review about it. But already I'm just loving the look of the rear of the bike. But I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys next time.